Good evening, it's Majestic here, and welcome to the final word on TalkSport alongside my co-host, the man who knows all about the blood, sweat and tears of the Premier League. It's former striker Troy Deeney. What weekend it's been at the Emirates. Arsenal left it late to rescue a point against Manchester City. The finger of blame was pointed at Mikel Arteta until Martinelli pulled it out of the fire to save a point. We want your views on the game. 0371722 3344. Give us a call right now. At Villa Park, Matty Cash smashes one into the end Villa's drought. But still, they can't put 10-man Sunderland away. That's points dropped and frustration for Unai Emery. As for Newcastle, another trip, another stalemate. Goalless at Bournemouth. 3 away games, still no wins. Eddie Howe must be tearing his hair out. And in East London, the noise is getting louder. West Ham beaten at home by Crystal Palace. Troy was there, the booze ringing around the London Stadium. And Graham Potter's got to be feeling the heat. So who's rising, who's falling, who's standing on the brink? It's the final word. Phoning with me, Majestic and Troy Deeney. Give us a call, 03717 223344. We want to hear from you tonight. And remember, TalkSport is bigger than ever. We're now on YouTube and on your smart TVs, so there's no excuses. You can't miss us. Let's get into it. It's Madge and Troy Deeney on Sunday night here on TalkSport. So as you can see, no Mr. Pardew this week. Alan Pardew not with us. We have Troy Deeney. How are we, Troy?
I'm good. Where is Pods? Gotta be on holiday or something.
I think he's in South Africa.
Oh, he's got some life, that fella.
Oh, he's hasn't he? It's all that the Uber Eats advert money, innit? So,
I mean, he deserves it. He's a good lad. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very well. It's been a while since me and you have done a show together. It's good to be back. And two of the worst people to come on after Arsenal game. Really?
I've got family members and friends saying, be nice.
Yeah.
Already sending the texts in.
Listen, Martinelli is always someone I speak to with Arsenal fans. When he first came on the scene, I thought he was such a prospect, and I just feel like he was kind of coached out of all of his tenacity. Today, we saw the tenacity that Martinelli still possesses. Yeah,
it looks like that frustration of not starting. Again, it was a weird one for me with Trossard starting in there. But Martinelli, come on, show what he could do. We've got so many. I know the phone lines will be going crazy, but Arsenal keep doing it, don't they? They keep setting up to just not lose, to just contain, and then hope later on that the team can come on with Saka. And I know Man City weren't great. They set up just towards the end there, just to contain and get it over the line. I think that's because of the amount of injuries that City have got. But Arsenal, they've got an attacking dearth now that is frightening. And
scary.
For some reason, they just keep going back to the same tried and tested. How was the striker for Arsenal? Was any good?
You'll make your careers.
That's good. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
It's not like you've ever played against him.
Never. I don't know what I'm talking
03717 223344. That's the question that we're asking Arsenal fans. Was that a good point for you guys at the end of the day? Looking at last year, absolutely battered Manchester City at home. And of course, these games here, these are going to be title-deciding games, and we're looking at a Liverpool team who aren't particularly playing that well at times. It's still not clicked for them, in my opinion, and they still get results.
Yeah, but they just keep getting the job done, don't they? 5-0 at the moment. Again, we could all look at it and say, right, Liverpool, they're getting their players up to speed. Isak's not had a pre-season. McAllister got injured, and they just keep getting the job done. You spoke about it in the green room. Just Chiesa will come up with a winner and get it sorted. Again, I don't want to hear any excuses this year from Arsenal fans. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear,
But Saka's coming back from injury.
But that's why you've got Madueke, who, by the way, was the best player on the pitch in the first half, and they brought him off at half-time.
Yeah, there's some strange going-ons there. Listen, Arsenal sits second in the Premier League tonight, 5 points off of Liverpool. Tottenham in third on the same points, goal difference, but, No, but seriously, Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you, 03717 223344. But it makes sense to go straight to Stephen, who was at the game. He's an Arsenal fan. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening, mate.
Good evening, mate. I don't remember I phoned up after the Liverpool game. Equally frustrated.
Yes.
I got absolutely choked on that occasion. I was asking people around me, is he injured? What's the problem? He's done it again at home this time. He's absolutely got out of jail today. I mean, I can't believe it. We've just given, not even tried to win the game again. It's just unbelievable. We've got no pattern of play. I don't know what he's trying to do. We are the world champions of passing it backwards and sideways. I don't know what's happening, mate.
Yeah, just on that, Stephen, and see, I think this pattern of play, they do have a lot of that, but it is very much one of two ways they're going to win. It's either from set pieces or Saka's going to do something from the wide areas. When you looked at that team sheet, 'cause I had a few Arsenal friends phone me and they were very agitated. What was your initial thought, especially with that midfield?
Well, we were terrified of Man City. We played, again, 3 central midfielders. He loves Marino, doesn't he? I mean, he's a decent player, but I'm just not seeing it. I just don't know what he's trying to do. You can't. I mean, at Liverpool away, you do it once, I forgive you. You do it exactly the same thing again at home against Man City in a must-win game. It's unforgivable, mate. It's unforgivable.
Yeah, Steve, I said it to Madge when we was in the green room. If someone keeps showing you who they are, believe them. Believe him, because he keeps doing the same thing.
Because you can talk a good game, can't you? But when it comes down to it, when it's absolute crunch, that's when people show what they are and who they are.
Well, it's that simple, Stephen, isn't it, really? If you're going to go and win a league, you've got to take points off of those who are in contention with you. And for Arsenal, that is Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea. They're, in my opinion, the league contenders, right? Yeah. And as you said, Troy, rightly so, Arteta sets up to not lose. If he doesn't lose, it's been successful. Now, for them to step up, and I thought they've had a great window. They've brought some unbelievable players in. To not start Eze at home in a game like that, when the guy has chosen his boyhood club over the rivals, there's so much around him. He must be full of confidence right now.
What does that do to the team now? What does that do to the players? These are the questions that I think now we're going to see. Because I think Arteta's done a great job taking us from where he found them to where they are. He's done a great job. Let's not get confused about that. But this is the part now where we have to see how good he is as a man manager. Because what he's had before was he got rid of Ozil, he got rid of Aubameyang. He had all the power because everyone around was like, oh, God, he calls the shots. Now you've got, in my opinion, Eze, Saka, Madueke, all expected to play. So does Odegaard expect to play. So does Martinelli. And all these players now, when they're not playing, especially in the big games, start to go, hold on, what about me? Even Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you told him at the start of the last year, sign a new deal because you're going to play more.
And it almost feels like a bit of a move. If I'm him, I'm looking at the way they dealt with the Eze thing, that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
And you got me to sign a new deal.
Yeah.
And now...
But he doesn't play in the big games.
Yeah.
He doesn't play in the big games. So, again, I know he came on for a little bit tonight and we're going, oh, he played a little bit. But it's just getting to this thing where I always believe, and again, people think I got a problem with Gyökeres. I promise you, I couldn't care less. But he will turn back to, as long as this game, as long as it's in the game, he'll go back to Havertz. Havertz will be the starter for the majority of these big games because he goes back to tried and tested. And I said it to you, and Arsenal fans, you're not going to like this. He just reminds me of Gareth Southgate. He reminds me of Gareth Southgate. He's going to go to his tried and tested. He's going to be pragmatic. He's going to do the basics right. But he's got an unbelievable squad there, and he's always just going to be scared unless he's forced to pull the trigger and go, right then, you creative guys, go and win us a game.
03717 22 Arsenal fans, we want to hear from you. Lots of celebration at the end of the game, but you've only taken 1 point against Manchester City and Liverpool in the last 2 games, not the record of champions, according to my producer Ross, by the way, not me saying that. So get your calls coming into us, 03717 22 We want to hear from you next on The Final Word on TalkSport.
football live on TalkSport 2. Millwall face Watford. Regimented pre-match reconnaissance from 1900 hours. Kick-off commences at 2000 hours. Duck and cover for a Monday night of live championship football on TalkSport 2. Stand easy.
Good evening, you're listening to the Talk Sport. It is the final word phoning with me, Majestic, alongside former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. As Arsenal rescue a point at the Emirates against Manchester City, we're reflecting on that. Draws everywhere today, Troy. Draws galore.
It's a good one. I think this weekend's a bookie weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's been losing money on. Even the Chelsea one has killed them as well. But we'll get on to the juicy vein that is Chelsea a little bit later.
Absolutely. Lots of Arsenal fans getting involved. 03717 2233 44 is the number. Got a good message here from Chris.
Yeah.
He said Arteta's issue. The best two number 9s available in the summer market were Ekitike and Isaac. Liverpool bought both. Gyökeres is second rate. That's the issue.
No, well, again, here's a question to Arsenal fans. And for the other 7 players you signed, would you trade all them in to get Isaac? There you go. We knew the issue last year was a striker. We knew the issue before was a striker. Now you get Kepa in goal. You get the centre half in. You got 2 centre halves in actually. You got 2 holding midfielders in. You got Madueke and you got Eze in. Then you got. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Well, if he was the big guy, go out and get one of those two.
The money spent on Madueke, Eze, and Norgard buys you Isaac.
There you go. So it's like they weren't even in the market as well for the other fella,
Ekitike, yeah.
Yeah. So it to me, like, it's not. I have no issues with Man City in the way that they're doing it, because I think that Pep actually has realised we're not that good, because they were 1-0 up against Brighton and tried to do it the same way, got found out. They tried to play their way against Spurs, got found out. So within 3 games, he's gone, right, let me change that and let me just try and fix it. Get out of here with a win. Job's a good one. For me, it's there for Arsenal. When you look at the back four, right, of Man City, Jesus Christ, right back, it's gone out of my head, what's his name? Kushinov, sorry. Diaz, Guardiola and O'Reilly. That's not a solid back four. O'Reilly is a midfielder by trade, played there. Kuzinov we saw had bad times. Diaz is not the player that he once was, and in my opinion, Guardiola is unbelievable. So that's a back line you could get at, and you put Trossard in, but you leave Eze, Saka. Yes, Saka. Granted, you're coming back from injury,
but Eze for me is the one.
Martinelli as well, who's quick, direct, gets at him,
and we saw what happened.
To me, it's just. The mentality is contain. Always contain, and hope to nick something.
Well, let's go to Tony, who's not only a first-time caller, but he was at the game as well. Great show to call in on. How are we, Tony? You all right, mate?
Give us an opinion.
Hi, mate, you're right.
Yeah, not too bad. How do you feel coming out of that? Do you feel that is a good point, or is it, drop points for you personally?
Drop points, really. Drop points.
Yeah.
I think that, again, the way we set up, just frustrated with Trossard, even though I like him, he's a bench player. But, I mean, look, I think my question would be to you guys after listening to the last caller and stuff and the caller before. Sorry, the last caller, beg your pardon. What team would you, what would you have started? Who would you have started today for Arsenal as an attacking? Because I think that Arteta doesn't know where to play Eze, right? That's the issue. And I just don't. And I think we're a little bit lost because we've got so many talented players, but we need a left-sided player. Okay, we haven't got one. You could have put Saka on the left and Noni on the right and mixed it up a little bit, but we didn't. So, he would never do that. But who would you have played?
I would have dropped Marino, because I don't think he's needed in that. I think Zubimendi is the pivot who gets on the ball, moves it from left to right. I think Declan gives you that legs and energy in there. Take a little bit away from Declan as well, by the way, because he'd have to do a little bit more. But I'd put Eze in as the 10. And said to you go float, get on the ball, like you do with Odegaard. We say, go get on the ball, do all the stuff you need to do. And then on that left-hand side, I'd have probably started Madueke on the left and Saka. And then as the game developed, depending on who got a yellow card or, with the fullbacks, let them switch over. Give them that creative freedom.
Like a 4-2-1-3.
Yeah. But my point is...
But then why wouldn't you start? Why wouldn't you start him? Why wouldn't you... Why is that so? Arteta should be looking at that thinking, right, okay, look, Trossard, he doesn't start. He shouldn't be starting. Even though I like him, but he shouldn't be starting.
Well, the players that you bought in, Tony, for sure. The players that you've brought in are a level above him, so he then goes to the bench.
I think as well where Arteta's argument loses as well, Tony, is because if you're fit enough to give me 20 minutes, 30 minutes off the bench, you're fit enough to start and give me 60.
Exactly that.
Do you get my point?
Saka come on, and Saka looked straight away. Come on, he looked like he's been playing every day. It wasn't like he's been out for the last 3 weeks. So yeah, look, he should. I'm disappointed, very disappointed.
Tony, really quick, mate. Really quick. Can I ask your opinion? Because I get a bit of stick from Arsenal fans on Gyökeres. What's your take?
Yeah,
what's your take on him?
Listen, I was a centre half back in the day, and if I come up against it, you should be panicking. The geezer's 6'4". He should be getting himself about a bit. He does run, and you watch it, and he does put the effort in. But look, I don't think we know how to play with a striker. That is our issue. And
that's interesting.
Do I rate him? Do I rate him? Look, I want to give him a chance, right? That's obviously. Do I rate him right now? I do for his work that he does, but he's not getting fed. He's being fed wrong. Zubimendi should be laying it through it. They should be laying through like Declan Rice should be doing it, but it doesn't work. It's going to take a bit. I honestly think it'll probably take half a season for him to actually, to understand where he fits in, because I don't think Arteta knows. And if we would have gone out and bought, and again, Isaac, would he have wanted to come to Arsenal?
But you want to be in a position to let him make that decision, though, right?
I know, 100%. But 100%. Yes, we would love to have him, but I don't. If you toss up between the two champions, the Premier League champions or us, finishing second.
Do you know the one? Tony, do you know the one I said a few weeks ago, and Arsenal fans laughed at me? Visser.
What's that?
He deals with that problem on the left. He can play through the middle when you need him. I think that would have been one as well.
Do you know what? Tony keeps going back to a point that made me think of what you said earlier about Arteta being like Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate didn't know where a lot of our creative players' best positions were, in my opinion, looking at how he used to play them. And
it's not. This isn't a disrespectful comment, because they're both excellent managers.
And both been successful.
Exactly. But their model is solid, safe structure. It's processes. You hear them talk about processes all the time. But what you need in those final 4 positions, let's go, the wingers, the 10 and the striker. You need that off-the-cuff thinking. Right, give him the ball. If you lose it, don't matter, do it again. Don't matter, do it again. And I just think that he wants it so regimented that he's dragged that out of him. You spoke about it earlier with Martinelli. But Madueke, he's done this for Chelsea, and Chelsea fans, feel free to call up if I'm wrong. But he goes down the line, and his end product is average at best. Average at best. So that's what they need, Saka. They'll go to Saka. He can go down the line. He can cut it back. He can cut his side on his left foot. He can cross.
Saka's world class at that. He's world class at that. It's
Saka or nothing. Yeah. As much as Saka scores and assists, is as far as Arsenal will go, in my opinion.
03717 223344 over on TalkSport 2 right now. It's a night of NFL action, Troy. He's loving it. All starting with the Jaguars facing Texans, and that is followed by the 49ers taking on the Cardinals from 9:25. Whilst we want to hear from your opinion on another frustrating day at the office for Arsenal, or Arsenal fans, you might be happy with that point. 03717 223344, and we're going to be hearing from you next on the Final Word on TalkSport.
trader. When it matters, get the job done marvellously well by a verified trusted trader professional. Talk Sport.
Good evening, I'm Hugo Chambray. A gutsy point for Arsenal or two thrown away by City. A late Martinelli goal changed the tactical narrative of the match over at the Emirates. That's according to Mickey Gray.
The stick that Mikel Arteta would get because of his team selection, because City have come here and done a job on Arsenal. Now, we might well be talking about the fact that Pep Guardiola took off all his forward players, put 10 men behind the ball, and they still haven't been able to see it out.
But are either side genuine title contenders with Liverpool's 100% record continuing this weekend? Perry Groves reckons Arsenal are.
I don't think Man City were ever in the title race anyway. I've always said I thought it was us and Liverpool. And at the moment, obviously you said about Arne Slots looking there going, it's a 5-point gap. But it's a long season.
Meanwhile, Bournemouth are also just 5 points adrift of Liverpool. They held Newcastle to a point earlier. Thus, Villa await their first win of the season after a draw at the Stadium of Light. Now, TalkSport understands West Ham are continuing to sound out potential replacements for Graham Potter. Their defeat by Crystal Palace was their 5th in 6 matches this season. Elsewhere, England's cricketers eased to a 6-wicket victory in third T20 international against Ireland to win the series 2-0. The visitors were set a target of 155, which they passed with 17 balls to spare. And Great Britain have finished the World Athletics Championships with 5 medals after adding 2 more on the final day out in Tokyo. Georgia Hunter-Bell took silver in the women's 800 metres, while Olympic champion Keely Hodgkinson had to settle for bronze. It's GB's worst medal haul for 20 years. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
TalkSport News.
The Prime Minister confirmed the UK's recognising of a Palestinian state in a historic, if largely symbolic, move. And Donald Trump is in Arizona attending a memorial service for right-wing activist Charlie Kirk.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Cold but clear tonight. A few scattered showers on northern and eastern coasts. Tomorrow should be settled with sunshine in the south, but cloud cover in the north.
On the TalkSport app, on your smart speaker, on your mobile, and on your smart TV. The final word, phone in. Electronic sports design. And welcome to another exciting phone call.
The nation's essential destination for
national heroes. Have your say.
The indispensable final word, phone in on TalkSport.
Good evening, welcome to the final word phone in here on TalkSport with Majestic. No Alan Pardew this week alongside me. Apparently doesn't know much. It's only the bagsman, Troy Deeney, just over the 200 goals in his career. Not bad, is it? So Arsenal fans, what's going on? You seem to be agreeing with Troy for once. Are you guys friends now?
No, definitely not. I've had a few messages. I've had my son messaging me. It's all going off.
Troy is saying that Mikel Arteta got his starting 11 wrong as they tried to contain Manchester City instead of trying to win the game. Is the clock ticking on Arteta's time at Arsenal? I don't think so. They want to win the league though, don't they?
They do want to win the league. The problem is Liverpool are very, very good and are not clicking and are not up to scratch yet. And they're still 5-0. That's the difference.
Or you might be someone that was happy with that point against one of your rivals. Elsewhere is a good day for the Paul's Coupon. Paul's Coupon, that's old school. With draws between Bournemouth and Newcastle and also Sunderland and Aston Villa. Remember, TalkSport is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video now, so come and watch us in our brilliant new studio. But now it's all about you, your opinions. Give us a call, 03 717 22 4. It's Madge, it's Troy, it's Sunday night, it's TalkSport. So many Arsenal fans getting involved today. Don't forget the number is 03717 22 4. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it in the corner right now. You can also WhatsApp us as well on the same number. We'll be asking for your WhatsApp later on. But right now, let's go to another Arsenal fan who is at the Emirates this afternoon. John joins us on the show. Good evening, John.
How you doing, boys? All right?
Yeah, not so bad. I've had a nice weekend of watching some good football. And again, the game with you guys, Manchester City and Arsenal as a neutrals, good bits of football there.
Yeah, I just think people are being a bit harsh on us, boys. You know, when you look at the games that we've had, our opening 5, we've had Liverpool away, we've had United away, City at home. You've had a tough start for sure. But I think the thing is, John, right? Because it's that thing with Arsenal where it just keeps getting closer, and every year that goes by that you don't win it,
I think the pressure becomes even more increased. And for me, I think a couple of years ago is when Arsenal were playing the best football that they've played. I thought you were brilliant. And that's coming from a Spurs fan. And I think now with Arteta, because he's so desperate to win, we're seeing situations like today where he wants to go out there and make sure that they don't lose rather than win in an Arsenal way.
I disagree, mate.
Go on, John.
I think the reason for that, mate, is frankly because we was an unknown entity then.
I agree with that, 100%. Yeah.
2-2-2-3 when we went from a team that were known for bottling the top four to all of a sudden being in the league title race.
No, I agree with that.
Entity. I think we had the youngest squad in the league at the time. So Arteta's had to evolve and change. And I honestly think we're playing better football and a higher quality football than we were playing back then. Yeah, there's less freedom in it.
Definitely less freedom.
The signings that he's made, they're all creative signings.
John, okay, creative signings. Let me just pick you up on that point. Do you think today showed the creative signings today?
No, yeah, I do. I think the reason what nullified us is the fact that you've got Manchester City, you're one of the best teams in the world, played us at our own game, and we just weren't expecting it. There should be more discussion about the fact Man City. And now, this is how far Arsenal have come in the last few years, are parking the bus against us. They bottled it. They
bottled it. I think we would argue. I think everyone would make a very good argument that Man City are in transition, and Arsenal's team is at his peak.
Look, yeah, fair enough. They are, but at the same time, you telling me they came to win that game today? That was a smash and grab.
Of course. But the point is, do you think that City are going to win the league this year?
No,
nobody does. So the point is, you guys are in that conversation of it's you or Liverpool. So they have to now come and smash and grab against you because of where they're at. It's on you guys now to go and beat them, not the other way around. It used to be the other way around. It's not that anymore.
Troy, I hear what you're saying, brother, but I also think let's see how Liverpool do against City. Do you know what I mean? Like City.
Well, I don't think we can question Liverpool at this moment in time. 5-0. They haven't got all their players up to scratch. They've dealt with injuries as well, but they still win. And I think what we can now say to Arsenal, and I hear you on the difficult start. I do understand that. But over the course of the season, you have to play everybody anyway. So it doesn't matter if you do it at the start or at the end. That doesn't really matter. What I think is, when it comes to these big games, the mentality from the manager and from that then leaks into the players is, we want to contain and nick this. As opposed to, if you're playing a Leeds or a lesser team, he will go with the wide players, the freedom, and go, bang, let's go and dominate. And that's the bit I have the issue with. Not that I don't think Arsenal can win it, but until that mentality change of, right, we've got City today, they're getting it. Until they change that, I think it's going to be the same with the same, mate. And I take your opinion. I don't mean to offend if I did, but that's where I'm at.
Offended. I honestly, mate, I think it comes down to the quality of the opponent you're playing. Against smaller teams, our players will absolutely rip them apart like we did with Forest and Leeds.
Yeah.
But City are just they're brilliant. You have to say, like they're all right, they are a side in transition, but they've got the best striker in the world playing for them. That was Arsenal's first goal conceded in open play this season. Prior to that, we'd only conceded the absolutely world-class free kick from Szoboszlai against Liverpool. So, this is the thing with Arsenal fans. What I find funny, the atmosphere was so poor over there when we're chasing it. Everybody, I know football's changed, but everyone said we had to be tougher, more rugged, see out a result, be tough to break down, and that's exactly what we've become now. But just people want to go back to those Wenger days.
Yeah. I'm with you. I totally take that. Can I just ask one more question, mate? Because we've got to get on to the other ones.
Go on, brother.
Your tough start included Man United, who there's a lot of people saying that Amorim should go, right? Played Leeds at home, who were going to be in a relegation battle. Would you agree? Liverpool away. Forest, who changed their manager, worked with Ange, and we see how that's going so far. So it actually hasn't been that big of a difficult start. I think at the start, if everyone had the same as last year, it would have been completely different. I don't think it's as
and
bad
also
a start as you think.
To chip in as well quickly, we had a message here saying also, guys, mention that Arsenal had 2 days more to prepare for the game and we're at home. Give City some credit, please. That's from Pat the Blue.
That's fair enough, but at the same time, I'm surprised City didn't try and get at us more. Like the fact they parked the bus. I've never known a Pep Guardiola team in history.
100%, and that goes back to, though, mate, they're in transition. And they've got 5 or 6 lads injured. You guys are more or less at full strength. more or less.
But this is what I mean. But this is the credit you've got to give Arteta for bringing in these creative players, because the only way Pep thought he could get a result today was by putting in that low block. Man City playing a low block. I can't believe I'm saying that. I never thought I'd see the day.
I hear you, but I think you're looking. I think you're looking at the outwardly as opposed to looking inwardly. That's all I would say. Without no Kovacic, no Aït-Nouri, no Marmoush, no Shirky, you expected him to come and take you on and have a free-flowing football match.
Apart from Marmoush, I don't even know who these other two geezers are. Like,
Shirky is mustard. Aït-Nouri, you know who he is because he's at Wolves.
Yeah,
Kovacic, you know as well.
Top level? Does he play top level, Aït-Nouri? And this other guy.
But even in this conversation, you're taking out your own argument because they're not top level, but you want them to come out and play against.
No, they are top level. They are top level.
But you're going to come up week in, week out now against the likes of Burnley, the likes of Leeds. They're going to sit in against you. You're going to have to break that down, right?
And we will.
So when City do it, that's not okay.
But because they're a good side. I guarantee. Mate,
but you know what? I think it comes down to this, and this is a compliment, John. You're a better side.
Yeah,
you're the better side than Manchester City. Right now, I think the squad available to you and the starting 11. I think that Arsenal have a better chance. And again, we see Brighton. They beat Man City at home. You know, Man City right now.
I know you don't want to say it, but Spurs did as well.
I don't want to say it, but Spurs, obviously, we went there and got a great victory.
It was a good result.
It was a great result. And again, I think City are a bit of a wounded animal at the moment. And I think if there's a time to go and do what you did to them last year, it would be now. John, thank you so much for the call. It was a great call. 03717223344 is the number to call us. Some great comments and great points being raised here. Troy,
Have they got personal yet? If they've got personal already, it'll be a good time.
Jake reckons that Arteta reduced Pep to park in the bus. I wouldn't even say that. I just think...
What's the obsession? Sorry to talk to you, bro. What's the obsession with saying that? Because Pep now has changed, right? But the same Arsenal that have been labelled as boring and now go, yeah, but he parks the bus. You've been doing that.
Yeah.
You've been doing that in the big games.
And I think why the Arsenal fans might be coming back at that is because their manager got a lot of stick for it.
Yeah, but we don't. The reason he gets stick for it is because the last 2 years, both Arteta and the players have come out and said this year's got to be different. They've done that at the start of the year with the media. We're going to be different. We're going to go with it. We got everything. We got the best chance to win it. And in the same big games, we set up not to lose. So, yes, no one is talking. Tell me one person in media that said Man City are going to win the league this year.
No.
Nobody.
So
that's why
I think
Pep gets a bit of a grace in this situation.
They never counted out the title race because you can never count Man City out. However, everybody said it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah. And it's like the victim mentality from Arsenal fans at the minute is like, but Pep's changed it. Okay, you have to win the game. It's on you to win the game. You're the ones falling behind in the title race, not City.
And I think by the end of the season, when we see where their land lies, dropping 2 points at home to this Manchester City side
could be that cost them. And you've had years of losing out at not winning those games at home. So whether it's City or whether it's somebody else, you know the home games are really important, and that's my only take. It's not a anti-Arsenal. I just think Arsenal are in a wonderful position now where they have to keep pace with Liverpool.
And do you know what's the craziest thing again is we're sitting here tonight talking about how good Arsenal actually are. Yeah. And I think for us, it's the sort of confusion that you have all this talent in abundance. Why are you not taking the game to players?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not taking the games to teams that I think you could go toe-to-toe with? Are we being too harsh on Arsenal? 03717223344. Plenty of calls coming in. We love hearing from you guys. It's the final word on TalkSport with Madge and Troy Deeney.
It's a live Wednesday night of live football. Port Vale face Arsenal in the League Cup, live on TalkSport. Real Betis battle it out with Nottingham Forest in the Europa League on TalkSport 2. Full match commentary of both games begins at 8. It's a wild Wednesday night of live football on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Good evening, you are listening to TalkSport. It's me, Majestic, alongside the bagsman, Mr. Troy Deeney, who's in for the one and only Alan Pardew this weekend. Send him a love to Pards. I was away last week, he's away this week. It feels like I haven't seen him forever. But it's been another fantastic weekend of Premier League football, once again showcasing how good this league is and how every year, Troy, it becomes more difficult to beat your opposition.
Yeah, because they all change each year, don't they? They all try and get better. They all learn from their mistakes. They try and improve. Well, unless you're Arteta, then you do the same thing week on week. So, yeah.
But, you know, you look at like people like Bournemouth, you know, after what they've sold in this summer, currently sitting after 5 games in the top 4. You know, I see them come to Spurs and I thought they were absolutely phenomenal. Held Newcastle today. You know, Palace are sitting 5th. You know, you was at the game yesterday.
Yeah, good team. Palace, they were bang average yesterday and still got the win. Got it done. But look, we've had a lot of chat this week, haven't we, about teams. We haven't spoke about Chelsea and their issue in goal, should we say. Something we spoke about, a bit like Arsenal, spoke about the goalie for about a year now. They've stuck with him. Aston Villa in the bottom 3 without a win, not scoring, not doing well. So there's loads of teams that are flattering to deceive at this moment in time. But I just think when it comes to the title race, you can't look any further than those boys up top. Liverpool, they just keep getting the job done week after week. They're not playing great. They will only get better. Yeah. And you know what as well, mate? They've got a manager who makes tough decisions. Yeah. Not afraid to make tough decisions. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Been a good hour or so.
It has been. Good evening, fellas. Madge, Troy, love you both. You're both so right. Away from home to City, yeah, maybe set up like that. But at home, chasing the league with Saka and Eze and on Trossard starting, not for me. I can see why you wanted the technical players in front of their block, but Noni and Gabby proved there was room in behind. Wrong team selection, credit where it's due. Pep tactics were almost superb considering the players he had available. That's from Al, the Arsenal fan.
Yeah, well, seems to be that we know what we're talking about. I do want to hear from an Arsenal fan who believes that playing this way and doing it this way will win them the title. Because I don't know a team that wins drawing. Do you have my point?
Yeah.
Like drawing against the other teams. I don't know a team that wins it. So more than happy to be proven wrong, as always.
Now, before we get back to your calls, we also love getting your WhatsApp voice note messages, and I think it's fair to say that this Arsenal fan's not too happy, Joy.
Are you listening, yeah? If anyone calls up and says they're happy with that point, hang up on them. They can't be calling up saying they're happy with a point, because it's impossible. And if anyone is still backing Arteta, I'm not gonna lie, I might not listen to the show. My head is gone.
Joy, enlighten us.
That's one of my friends who's a massive Arsenal fan who is
done with Arteta by the sounds of it.
He has been for about 6 months, to be fair.
Really?
He's been consistent with it, but his frustration is more that he's going to these games. He called me half an hour before kickoff to have his rant about the team selection, and he's saying, against this back four, why are we not going after them? We're at home. We've got all this momentum. And then obviously, again, but I think that plays a part, not only with fans, but with players. If you're Eze, you're looking going, well, what do I need to do to start? I've come to Arsenal to play these big games. I haven't come to sit on the bench.
He would have started, I suppose.
He would have started at Palace. Do you know my point? So it's like you come in here, you do...
In a World Cup year.
It's all about playing in the big games and being that person who can just switch these close games into winning games. And I'm a little bit frustrated for Arsenal as a club, if I'm being totally honest with you. Forget what City are up to where they're at this moment in time. I'd like to hear from City fans, because I think it's an admission from Pep that we're not quite there yet. But once we get everybody fit and available, we'll be challenging again. So I'd love to hear from those guys. Love to hear from Arsenal fans and my mate who's listening. It's a long drive home, bro.
What kind of minute did Eze come on? He come on at half time, didn't he?
Half time. Him and Saka half time.
So
that's an admission that you got it wrong.
Yeah, and also the fact that the two games we've been talking about, the big games, Liverpool and Manchester City home, Eze has played 50, 60 minutes out of those two games. And for me, I just think when you've got a player of that quality, and again, Arsenal fans be like, oh, why keep going on about? You're the guys that put out the videos with Righty going, do you want to create? Do you want to do it your way? You know, as Troy said, you've told us things are going to be different.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see it, because it means if you did do it differently, you win the league.
Yeah.
In my opinion, right? If they were being offensive-minded, I think Arsenal... for me, I think Arsenal got the ability to smash everyone if they...
Of course, on their day. And again, the argument goes out the window when you can go through their squad from top to bottom and say there's a solid, if not just as good, backup.
Let's go to George, who's a first-time caller. Thank you for being our first-time caller tonight. George, how are you, mate?
Not bad. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, listen, a great weekend of football across the board. I've enjoyed a lot of the games, and I enjoyed that game between Arsenal and City. Some quality moments. Martinelli, fantastic goal. I'm a big fan of Martinelli's. I just think he's lost a lot of his freedom playing under Arteta, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to criticise Arteta. It's not fair. And like Troy said, he's done brilliant for us. Let's face it. But at the moment, you know the way I see him? I see him as a Formula 3 driver in a Formula 1 car.
Oh.
He just doesn't know how to control the car, does he? He's got so much talent there, and he just doesn't know how to pick a team. I mean, look, great coach. I'm not going to knock him. I think it's unfair. Anyone who knocks Arteta, I think it's unfair, because he's taken us up to where he can take us. But, I don't know, like you said earlier, he's got that little bit of Gareth Southgate, where I just don't think... You know, Goalkeeper, for instance, I think he's a great striker, but he needs a service. You're not going to be getting a service when you've got Mourinho in the team. No disrespect to Mourinho, but you've got Eze on the bench. You know, I don't know. It's just something.
It's just a feeling, isn't it, George? It's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's that feeling. Like when I watch England in any of the finals under Gareth Southgate, I was hoping we'd win. Do you know what I mean? You're not going in there with like, right, today we're going to win. And I feel like that with Arsenal in those big games. It's that feeling of they could win it. I could make so many arguments.
All the qualities to win it as well.
But just that feeling inside me says they're going for a draw. They're hoping that they don't lose. And that's my frustration. It's not a pure Arteta dig. It's just everywhere.
You're right, Troy. And I'll tell you what, I was saying to some of my mates on the WhatsApp group, look, you know, if he starts with that negative team, like you did against Liverpool, because I'll be honest with you, if we would have played Liverpool with a full strength attacking team, I honestly believe we would have smashed them.
I agree with that. They was all over the place in the first half. They settled into that game, and I think that, you know, Arsenal allowed Liverpool to settle into that game, and it's like boxing, Troy. Yeah. It's like when you come out, if you allow your opponent to control the centre of the ring, they're going to dictate the tempo.
Yeah,
and I think if you go out attacking, then all of a sudden you're putting it on them, going, "Come on,
George, can I ask you a question? You still there?
Sure.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, I didn't know if you'd gone, so I went dead. Do you believe that Arsenal can win the title with this team?
If they played correctly, yes.
Right.
If he plays the way he did today, look, at the end of the day, if you're going to win, it's no good bringing them on at the end when you're 1-0 down.
Yeah.
If you're going to win, if you're going to try and win a game, try and win a game from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Go 1 or 2-0 up, and then bring on Mourinho and bring on all the rest of them.
Go safe then. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at Liverpool, if you watch the Liverpool game, first half they were getting battered, and we didn't even have the right players.
Yeah.
Second half, their confidence grew, and they thought, "Oh, this lot ain't going to beat us, are they?" And they waited, and then they got that free kick. Okay, they didn't play well, but they got the points.
Yeah, they get it done, don't they?
They get it done, and I just think, do you know, I personally believe we've got the best squad in the league. I really do believe that.
Yeah, it'd be difficult to argue with that, mate. Man for man.
It's no good having the best squad in the league if you don't know how to play it.
Yeah, it's a great point. Thank you very much, George. Another frustrated Arsenal fan joins us, and I think, listen, he's got it spot on. Like, you can't criticise Arteta as an Arsenal fan in terms of what he's done for the football club. You know, I've got so many friends who are Arsenal fans, and you know, people weren't even using their season tickets at one point because they were they were lost. They kind of
I played there.
Yeah,
in those times under Wenger towards the end when it was toxic, it was nasty, it was, you know, we would go there and say, like, let's get through the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
you get through the first 10 minutes, make a few tackles, this place goes. So you see the development and where Arteta's gone from there to now. It's night and day. It's frightening. And it's
so close to getting over the line. The question is he the man to get it over?
But the problem is, once you start missing consistently, which is what they're doing, Liverpool get better, Chelsea get better, I don't know, Spurs can get better. Everyone around you could start to get better. Man City could come back. So your window of opportunity goes each passing year. Do you get my point?
Well, I've seen it with Spurs with Poch.
Of course.
You know, when we were that close, and it was that year Leicester won it, and then we were just behind Chelsea because they had the Conte moment. Yeah. And then it starts coming away, and you go the other way.
Because then what happens then is the Real Madrids, the Bayern Munich start hovering around.
Yeah, of course they do.
And they go, right, we'll take Saliba. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I just think they get to a point where you have to win now, and your window of opportunity is only right now. You can't keep saying it's a 5-year project. We're through that, by the way. I know everyone stopped talking about that, but we are through them 5 years. We're past that. We're going to win this year. We've got the best squad. We've done all of this. Go and win me some games then. Go and win me the big games. And this is the same argument I have about Gyökeres as well. Go and score in those big games. Today is the games we need you. Again, Haaland scores today.
Yeah.
Scores today. The big guys turn up in those big games. If that's a game with Liverpool, I expect Salah to score or assist.
Oh, for sure.
Do you get my point?
Here's a good message. They've not left their name, but thank you very much for getting involved. Arteta was not a serial winner as a player. He spent most of his career under Moyes, and it shows in his management style as he's very cautious.
Nah, I'm not having that.
You're not having it?
Because was Mourinho as a player? Was Wenger as a player?
Exactly.
No, it's not. It's completely different. It's completely different. I think you could definitely see traits that he's learned from David Moyes in terms of the solid shape, that the set pieces. But I think he's done way too much coaching and way too much experience in travelling and being where he is to say it's anywhere like how he was a player. Also, as a player, you can only do so much. Like, your abilities get you so far. Do you know what I mean?
You're restricted to what the manager wants to do.
Exactly.
0371722 4. We're going to hear from the Arsenal boss himself, Mikel Arteta, next on The Final Word.
Good evening. With your evening's headlines, I'm Hugo Chambray. Well, whatever you made of it, Arsenal fans, here's what Mikel Arteta thinks about a point at home to Man City.
Very disappointed with the result. It's true that, as you said, scoring at the end, it gives you a bit of emotion, a bit of a taste, but I think the first result for me was for Arsenal to win the game.
That stoppage time Martinelli goal leaves his side 5 points behind Liverpool after the first handful of league games. Elsewhere, Max Verstappen took first at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix after Piastri crashed out, and GB have slumped to their worst medal result in 20 years at the World Athletics Championships out in Tokyo. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
Hi, Jeff Stelling here. It's another monumental week of League Cup football, live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
They're back in front!
It's a Tuesday night twosome. Lincoln City take on Chelsea from 7:45 live on TalkSport.
They've made the breakthrough!
While Liverpool battle it out with Southampton from 8 live on TalkSport 2.
What a comeback!
With your chance to have your say on the sports bar from 10.
What a finish!
Captivating coverage of the League Cup live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
After match agony, anatomy, and analysis.
The final word phone in.
You are listening to TalkSport with me, Majestic, alongside former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. Underneath us is the sounds of a new remix of mine by Mika McLaurin. This is the name of the artist. And this is a remix that came out on Friday. One of mine.
You have to send me this. This is a tune.
Little vibe, innit?
Yeah.
The reason I play this is because yesterday I played at Drum Sheds in Tottenham, which used to be an IKEA.
Nice.
Which is now just a big warehouse where there was a massive party called Defected yesterday. Big shout to my Defected family. Had a nice gig down there. It was good fun. Very sweaty warehouse vibes.
Yeah, it's how it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah, that was.
I don't want to rave that's all
15,000 people
having it off.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, congratulations to everyone involved in that. If you're listening and you was at Drum Shed yesterday, do let me know, because I had so many people come up to me in the dance going, "I love you in Pards on a Sunday." They're like,
sorry, that's for me today.
Yeah, so this is available on all platforms if you do like this one, like Troy does. Now, before we get back to your calls, TalkSport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook caught up with Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta after the draw against Manchester City and started by talking about the importance of players off the bench.
Well, at the top clubs, all the managers have this, and today we didn't have Martin Odegaard, with Bukayo that was coming back, Kai Havertz out, Gabriel Jesus out, a lot of players are still out, so that's what we want. We're going to need everybody. You saw today again players that they didn't start in Bilbao, how well they did. For example, Saliba and Leo, I think they were very good, both of them, and we're going to need everybody, so many games.
Do you take it as a mark of respect for your team that was quite a different Manchester City performance than we've become used to, and at the end of the game they had 4 centre-backs, they had no striker? What did you make of that?
I don't know, that's a question for them to understand why they did it, but certainly they did it because they believe it was the best way to win the game.
And you mentioned the finishers. Obviously they played a part in Bilbao in midweek. It happened again today. Is that squad depth going to be really important over the course of the season?
Very important. They are very long matches when you see the level and the physical demands and how much detail there is in these games. You're going to need to change it and adapt the game, and I'm very happy with what the players done again.
Can I ask you a quick one on Victor Gyökeres, because it was an afternoon when he didn't get a lot of service, but his hold-up play was good. He was dropping back to link up the players well. Were you pleased overall with him?
Yeah, he did a lot of good things. I think he was very unfortunate in 2 situations where he was just in front of goal and the ball doesn't hit him for millimetres. But I think he had a very strong performance today.
That was the Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta speaking to TalkSport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook about their performance today. We're talking about the importance of the squad and people coming off the bench. Troy's already shaking his head.
Hey, go on, please, carry on. It just
speak your piece.
No, it's this. I understand the manager has to give the striker confidence, but he just described Gyökeres as having a strong performance today. What? You know when Ten Hag was at Man United and he used to just lie to us that it's a good performance? Like we watched the game, we seen it. Again, as an ex-striker, I'm always going to look towards what the strikers do. How can you say he had a strong performance?
Well, this is a great moment for us to bring in Jamie, who's a first-time caller, who's an Arsenal fan.
Hello, mate.
To talk about Gyökeres. How are we, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, sound, mate. Yeah. I think with Gyökeres, it's a weird one because obviously he's pushed for this move this summer, and I mean he hasn't really had a pre-season at all. You could see that in the first few games. I mean, all the rival fans are saying that. I mean, look at him, and you got that Tottenham lad. He said he was wearing jeans. It looks like he's wearing jeans while he's playing. And I think that summed him up really. Obviously, he's had no pre-season, and I think you just got to give him a little bit of time. I mean, look at Ekatike. I mean, he's hit the ground running, but Wirtz as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's 007 at the minute. Sesko's about to be 007 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a bit harsh on him at the minute. And I think the way that we played today, we played well. It's just when City dropped to that sort of low block, which a lot of teams in this league are going to play against us because of how we play, he ain't going to be that great. But I do think the goals are coming, and they will come. I do. Mate,
Jay, can I just ask you a bit of that? Because I agree. I think he will score goals. I've never said he won't score goals. My concern is in these games, in those big games, is where you brought him in, right, to get you over the line, to get that goal. We saw it with Haaland as well. There's how many times we saw Haaland had 10, 12 touches in a game and people go, he's terrible, he doesn't do anything. But he scores in those big moments. And I can put my house on it. When he went through today, and I'm sure you watched it, we all went, goal. I just don't get that feeling with Gyökeres. I do against Leeds. I do against Wolves. I do against West Ham when you play them. Like, against those teams, no bother. But when he sees big moments, I just don't feel it. And that's why I got a little bit annoyed there with Arteta. What is the consideration for a strong performance? Would you have called his performance today strong?
Nah, his performance today weren't strong. But also, I do think if that was up the other end and it had opened up from City's defence and Gyökeres had got that chance, mate, I'll put my house on it that Gyökeres is scoring that.
Fair enough.
So,
listen, I can't disagree with that, but I just it's that feeling inside. You know what I mean? It's hard to argue with someone about feelings because the feeling you get when Haaland goes through, it's like goal, and when he misses, you're like, oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, he's a monster though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
But
in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, JB, on that as well then, right. So for the season, right, you're looking ahead to the season. Do you still feel with the gap that it is now, and you've just said Gyökeres isn't up to speed, and you used a lot of the Liverpool players as that. The Liverpool aren't up to speed. They're still winning games. They're 5-0 at this moment in time. They're only going to get better. Do you think you can catch them?
100%. I think this luck of scoring these late goals are going to come. They're going to dry up. I think, they got lucky with it last season as well. They scored a lot of late goals last season as well.
Just quickly on that one, you said luck, right? When Man United were dominant, there was always this thing of a Fergie time, and Man United would always just somehow nick it. Is that just not a mentality beast that they always, regardless of what's going on, they find the rub of the green, they find their own luck. Look at the game against Newcastle, St James's Park, under the lights. Rio comes on and scores. It's just, I think with like a Liverpool team, they never know when they're beat, and they'll go and get the job done. Whereas Arsenal, they pulled it back today, and I think Arsenal actually got real strong mentality. But
when Arsenal were doing it, and Jamie, you'll remember this, when Reece Nelson scored that one
against Bournemouth, wasn't it?
The Bournemouth one.
I never heard one. Unfortunately, mate, I got loads of Arsenal fans around me. Unfortunately, I never heard one of you go, "That was lucky." That.
Nah. But
do you know what I mean? When it's not your team, it's always lucky. When it's your team, it's like, we were the better team.
I mean, you did have that. I know a lot of fans. We had that feeling of these are the moments where you think you have that sort of game, and you're like, we could do this.
Yeah,
we could do this.
So that's what Liverpool are feeling 5 games in.
I can't really doubt that. I think as well when you were saying earlier about the Madueke starting on the left and maybe Saka on the right, I was saying to the lad that takes the calls that I think with Saka it's a weird one because obviously he's just came back. He's had 3 weeks out, hasn't even played in the international. And as well, like
Saliba was. He did the same as Saliba.
I wouldn't have started Saliba. I think Mosquera's come in, and I think he looks.
Yeah, I agree.
He looks unreal. I would have just kept him in.
Yeah, and you know what? The problem I have with it, Jamie, is when when you make an excuse for one and not the other, not you per se, but Arteta. So he's like, he's just coming back from injury, 3 weeks out, got to look after Saka. But literally, I'm going to start the centre-back who's been out for 3 weeks doing exactly the same thing. Do you get my point? Like, it's like you lose that credibility.
Yeah, I know. And that's why Mikel Arteta was saying, that's why he was starting Marino. I mean, he's bagged four goals for Spain over that course, but still, that he's not that attacking, that right-sided player that we need. He should be starting Eze. He should be even that Nwaneri. Like, I don't know why these lads aren't getting a look in. Yeah. And Majestic off the left, I mean, we saw him, Man United, and in the second game against Leeds, he wasn't great. When he had that little cameo, I think he had about 20 minutes, if that, on the right, and he looked a much better player. And since even over the international break with England, playing on the right, and after that, Majestic has looked a lot better on the right. I wouldn't start Majestic on the left. If you're going to start someone, at least just not Trossard. I think he's starting him basing on the fact that him and Martinelli coming off the bench on the last game, that they played well. But I just think Eze is just, he's levels above them. I don't know why he wouldn't have just started him on the left. Maybe because he's saying, I think he said in the pre-match press conference that he does see Eze as that attacking midfielder rather than the player that was, coming in off the left.
On the left, yeah, which is a good point, because that is what Eze's position is. He's a 10 that can drift out onto the left. Great call, thank you very much, Jamie. 03717 22 3344. Got a message here saying Spurs on the same points as Arsenal. Thomas Frank said one of our best performances of the season, even though it was a draw. When we're talking about Spurs, we've got lots to talk about. We've only spoken about Arsenal and City today, really. We haven't even talked about the Villa.
Oh, God. There'll be a few of them calling, if you get me.
We've had a few people already messaging saying they want to know...
my thoughts?
Yeah.
Let's do it. After the break, let's do it.
03717 22 3344. Of course, earlier on, Bournemouth and Newcastle drew 0-0. Bournemouth are in third. Newcastle take on Arsenal next, which will be taking calls off the back of it next Sunday. It's going to be interesting. And Sunderland 1, Aston Villa 1. Villa draw against 10-man Sunderland. Villa in 18th and Sunderland currently in 8th. We're looking at Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley possibly ought to stay up. Not Burnley.
Burnley.
But Sunderland and Leeds.
Sunderland, Leeds are giving it a right good go. I tipped Sunderland at the start of the season. I thought the way that they kind of went out like Forest.
Yeah.
Just got loads of lads in, some good quality, some good, exciting players. I think they'll do okay. Leeds, I'll be honest, have surprised me. I didn't think they were going to be this good. But
here they come, Leeds United.
But you have to say, they're doing well. But
Really
I just
good.
wonder, again... Because when you play, you have the international break, and then it gets into it. Just how good is your squad then from those winter months? That's when you know who's.
And I would love to, and we do this every week. We try and call out to a particular fan group. I want to hear from Bournemouth fans, because Bournemouth fans, right now, you look. As I said, I was there, and as were you at the Spurs Stadium when they came to Spurs. They were absolutely brilliant, and I think Bournemouth this season. They've got to be looking at trying to stay in those European places. And I think they've got the ability to do that, especially with some of the drop-off around, especially looking at where Villa are right now, and they've got the Europa League they can fall back on, etc. There's lots of nuances, but Bournemouth fans, give us a call, 03717 22 3344. We'll be talking to you next on The Final Word on TalkSport.
tonight from 9 on TalkSport.
The weekly international football transmission. From Paris to Panathinaikos, from Oslo to Olympiacos. Radio's most established European football show. Trans Euro Express.
TalkSport's big European adventure. Tonight from 9 on TalkSport.
I don't know what this bed is, but it's quite good. You bring in the rave. DJ Kitch inside the ones and twos. You're trying to bring that drum shed vibe to TalkSport, aren't you? 03717223344. It's Majestic alongside former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. So many messages and phone calls coming through today. It's been a great show. I can't believe it's already 10 to 8. It's flown. Of course, I'm not joined by my usual co-host, Mr. Alan Pardew. But it seems that he is listening, because he's messaged our group chat saying one of the problems of a great squad is too many changes early or make the wrong call in starting. Arteta has a new problem, which is a great point, really, isn't it? Especially with the players that he's brought in. Listen, when you are, and you'll know this, Troy, because you are somebody, and I've heard it before, and absolutely rightly to do so, someone that backs themselves and believes in their ability. Maida Wakey, Eze, players like that are going to believe in their because they're good footballers.
Yeah, of course, and they haven't signed on the pretenses that they're going to be finishers, as he likes to call them, or on the bench and coming on. So that especially Eze, that you spoke about, all of that with Wrighty and the homecoming, and he's come home and he left Palace to be a starter at a team that he loves and plays for. Yeah. He also turned down Spurs, if we're led to believe, because he only wanted to go to Arsenal and take them over the top of the hill. So when the big games come and you're on the bench, now you start to create different things, because these lads start thinking, and I know people don't think that players think like this, but they do. Okay, World Cup's coming up. Cole Palmer's just gone off yesterday, injured. I just watched that. If I'm starting, I can get that England place. Yeah. And that's how people think. And, what do I know, though, mate? I only played 17 years.
Well, let's go to Mike. He's an Arsenal fan. He was at the game today. How are we, Mike?
Hello there, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well, mate. It's been a good weekend of football.
Hi there, Troy.
How are you, sir? You okay? Sorry, just having a sip of tea.
Yeah,
you okay?
not too bad, Troy. Not too bad, thank you.
How was the game today, mate? You were there, weren't you?
I wasn't at the game.
Oh, you wasn't at the game. Sorry.
With a couple of mates and stuff. So, but yeah, celebrated quite hard, obviously, in the added time. Troy, I just wanted to I just wanted to ask you, as a striker.
Yes, sir.
Would you be happy if you scored 3 goals in your first 5 Premier League games?
Who do I play for?
Arsenal.
Relatively. But again, as you know, I'll let you finish your point, then we'll go to it. Sorry, go on, Karen.
No, I just think like Gyökeres seems to be getting a bit more stick than sort of he deserves, bearing in mind he's like embedding into a new team, etc. But anyway, obviously we were talking about Arsenal. Do I think we can win the league? Obviously Liverpool are favourites, etc. But yeah, I do think Arsenal can win the league as well. What are your thoughts?
I think they have the potential to win the league. I think there has to be a mentality shift in these types of games, because I think we see it with Liverpool. We said it a lot last year as well, where the initial thought process from Arteta is shut up shop, be solid, be secure, and then hope's the wrong word.
I agree with you there, Troy. I agree with you.
Hope's the wrong word, but we're going to have Saka do something. We'll do something from a set piece, as opposed to going, right, we've got all these weapons. Let's go and enable them. Let's give them the ball and let's do what they're doing. On your Gyökeres comments, my frustration around Gyökeres isn't that he's not going to score goals, because I believe he will score goals. In that team, he will score goals. Havertz scored goals in that. But to
a certain degree.
He hasn't, because he scored against Leeds and Forest. Forest are not going to be the same team they were last year. Leeds are not going to be in the top 10. So what my point is, when you brought him in, and when Liverpool went and got the 2 strikers they did, the expectation that they bring these guys in for is to score in those big moments to make the difference in 4, 5 or 6 games over the course of the season. Arsenal, with the greatest respect, don't need Gyökeres to beat They could have not had him, and they would have still beat Leeds. they would have still beat Forest. Do you get my point? So that's where I think the scrutiny comes in, and Gyökeres is because they're looking at him.
It's a very reasonable point. It's a very reasonable point, Troy.
And that's why they're looking at him, though, Mike, now in these big games. And remember, this is not exclusive to Gyökeres. This happened to Haaland when he first came in. How many times did we see when he played against Arsenal, he had 5 touches, 7 touches, 12 touches, didn't score, and everyone was going, he has to deliver in the big games. He doesn't do enough. It's not exclusive to Gyökeres, but the problem for Arsenal is
Harry Kane still gets lambasted with that.
Exactly. If you want to win the league, you have to have a top goal scorer in the top 5 scorers of the league. So I would go now. If I had to put my house on it, I'd go Haaland will be there, Isak will be there, I'd go Salah will be there, I will go João Pedro will be there, and then in that 5th one, I'm not sure.
So Troy, all I'm saying is he's moved into a new team, new system. Okay.
Yep.
As a striker, right? So I will retract the comment I'm kind of about to make. Right. I'm not going to swear.
Go on, mate. You won't offend me. Don't you worry. It's all good.
But as in, like I've literally just obviously turned Sky off and then come on to TalkSport. And I just thought, like, you're giving him a bit too much stick, I think, when, like I say, if he scores in 60% of sort of his Premier League games, do you know what I mean? He's going to be bagging.
Granted, but I think you're missing my point now, Mike. Sorry to interject. I think you're missing my point. My point is I think he's that good. I think he's that good that we are allowed to criticise. The same way we critique Haaland. I just don't. I'm putting him in that top bracket, and I think that's what Arsenal need, not only to get over it in the Premier League, but to win cups and also to go further in the Champions League. You need that real killer at the top of the pitch.
Correct.
And I'm just not sure. I hope I'm wrong, by the way, Mike. I've said this on every time. Any opinion I have, I hope I'm wrong, and I'll be the first to apologise. But I just don't think I am in this one.
03717 223344 still to come. We really talk about West Ham and Aston Villa. It's Majestic. Oh.
Did Mike bottle it, by the way?
He did.
He bottled it, didn't he? All right. Cheers, Mike.
It's Majestic and Joy Deeney. Thank you for calling, Mike. 03717 223344.
Sports Update with Trusted Trader. Find top-notch tradespeople in your area, all who pass the Trusted Trader 15-point assessment.
Talk Sport.
Good evening, I'm Hugo Chambray. Are either Arsenal or City serious title contenders after that draw at the Emirates? Mikel Arteta says he's disappointed with a point, but he reckons his side dominated.
Regardless of the result, I would have said the same thing. I'm extremely proud of the players and the team. I think the manner that we played and dominated this game against this Manchester City, from my side as a coach, requires a big compliment to the team.
While Pep says it's a fair result.
It's been a really tough week for us in terms of opponents, and Thursday, Sunday travel to London always is demanding, I would say, and the opponent is really, really good. So, and the result is fair.
That scoreline maintains Liverpool's 5-point lead at the top of the table. Still early days, but is the writing on the wall? Elsewhere, Villa are still without a win after their draw at Sunderland earlier. Unai Emery is trying to see the positives in their 3 points so far.
It's not enough. I know it's not enough, but it's not the worst.
Not exactly convincing, while Bournemouth also played out a draw with Newcastle to take them to 4th in the league. In the cricket, Jordan Cox's 55 off 35 balls took England to a T20 series win against Ireland. Tom Banton and Phil Salt also contributed with the bat out in Dublin. And Great Britain have finished the World Athletics Championships with just 5 medals, half their tally from 2 years ago. Georgia Hunter-Bell took silver in the women's 800 metres, while Olympic champion Keely Hodgkinson had to settle for bronze. GB left without a gold for the first time since 2003. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
TalkSport News.
The UK, alongside Canada and Australia, will formally recognise the state of Palestine, and a second runway at Gatwick Airport has been given the go-ahead.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. Buy 2 or more Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres and claim Bridgestone's massive 20,000 mileage guarantee. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Cold but clear tonight. A few scattered showers on northern and eastern coasts. Tomorrow should be settled with sunshine in the south but cloud cover in the north.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on your mobile and on your smart TV.
Final word phoning.
The nation's first response volcano of post-match reaction.
Bicycle kick, backlash.
Duck and cover.
Pick up the pieces on the final word phoning.
Talk Sport.
You are listening to the final word here on TalkSport with me, Majestic, alongside the former Watford striker Troy Deeney. And right now, it's the only place on national radio taking your calls, so you know the number, 03717 223344. Yesterday, Troy was at the London Stadium to watch yet another humbling defeat for the Hammers. So yes, West Ham, we're going to be talking about you very soon. And we're also talking about the magical mystery of how stoppage time is calculated after a controversial ending to the Merseyside derby. But right now, we're giving you the greatest quiz on radio. The Mystery Footballer Quiz. There's 3 songs in total which will lead you to who the player is. Remember, it could be the club he's played for, his squad number, a nickname, or even a physical feature. So, my selector, DJ Kitch, let's drop song number 1. Scooter! That, of course, is Scooter with Logical Song, and I'm taking that Scooter. There might be a clue in where they're from. And of course, Scooter are German. Scooter, Logical Song there, and there's 2 songs still to go. But if you think you know who it could be from our first song, the text lines are open. Tell us your answer at 81089 or send us a WhatsApp message to 03717 223344. But first, let's talk about 2 clubs who've had another frustrating weekend. Sunderland 1, Aston Villa 1, Villa draw against 10 men. Sunderland. Villa are 18th. And Sunderland 8th in the league. Don't forget, Aston Villa take on Bologna in the Europa League live on TalkSport this Thursday. Aston Villa. What's going on, Troy?
Oh, mate. It's a weird one because I've worked a couple of games this year. I worked a Brentford game in the league. They were really poor. And then I worked their game against Everton and they were really poor as well. And I thought maybe that Sancho coming in, Harvey Elliott coming in added a little bit more dynamism to it. Again, they must clearly not be fit enough because he's not putting them anywhere near the starting lineup. But I think it's an ego thing now. I think it's a player-driven ego thing. I think the manager's a very, very good manager, but you have to start looking now and say, right, why are all the players trying to play inside the pitch? Why is Morgan Rogers not the focal point, and they're just giving him the ball all the time and saying, don't worry if you make 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes. And by the way, he's not away from any level of criticism. Yeah. He needs to raise his game a little bit more. Can't go do it for England, but not do it for your club. But the biggest one is the lack of goals. The lack of goals from Ollie at this moment in time. I've stuck up for Ollie on a number of occasions where they bought in Rashford, they had Durant, and they were trying to move on from him. But at this moment in time, you're the only striker there. You're the one they're all looking towards. And for the start of the season, you're not delivering. Whether it's goals or whether it's performances, at the moment, it's both. And I always think as a striker, you can't always guarantee you're going to score, but you can guarantee you put yourself about and you give the opposition something to think about. At this moment in time, he just looks off it. He looks comfortable. So that's a challenge. But, Villa going into this now as the end of this weekend in the bottom three, he's not good enough. Not good enough at all. Not with the talent that they have, not with the squad that they have. Yes, it's a bit lopsided. Yes, PSR is an issue. But you can't be in the bottom three.
Do you think there's almost a bit of a hangover from last season still with they were so close to Champions League football, which would have changed the dynamics in terms of, the PSR, like you said, even in terms of who they could purchase.
But they went for a big... Everyone keeps going to that point. Remember in January, they had a massive 50-50 flip of the coin, didn't they? They got in Marcus Rashford, they got Asensio in. Spent a lot of money on their wages to get them in. And they didn't get over the line. It wasn't the Man United game. And I had this conversation with Crookie the other day. It wasn't the United game that was the issue. It was the draws at home in the build-up to that. Do you get my point? There was a few where they should have won. So, again, it's in my opinion, it's a decent squad. They've got a very good goalkeeper. Solid enough back four. I'd say it's middle of the road back four. I'd say they're top 12 in the country. Midfield's very good. It's just in those wide areas. Who's going to supply the crosses for Ollie to keep scoring? And it's a little bit too one-dimensional at the minute. They're trying to do the same thing all the time. So, again, Villa fans, more than happy for you to tell me. I've watched 3 games this season of the 5. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely. 03717 22 3344 is the number to call. Hi, guys. Great show, as always. Love the duo of Madge and Troy tonight. Thank you very much. Madge, the song you've done the remix is a tune. Also, even better that Bergvall is on the background. He reckons that the artist our remix looks like Lucas Bergvall. Look, have a look at it. We've got to talk about West Ham now. You were there yesterday. I was listening to you on TalkSport with the Moose, and I was at the London Stadium last weekend when Spurs beat them 3-0. It was a bad atmosphere in the stadium that day because obviously it's a big game for West Ham. What was it like being there?
Sad. That's what it was. Sad. Because I'm a football fan. Everyone knows I'm a Birmingham City fan, but I've been in this game long enough now to just look at football for what it is and the purity of it. And West Ham have got great fans. Really, really top fans. I know you're not going to say that being a Spurs there, but...
No, this is the thing as well. I've said this, and I said it on our podcast the other day. I like West Ham. I have so many West Ham friends. My obviously Spurs one is Arsenal. Like Arsenal, bit of Chelsea. Yeah. But like West Ham, I've always grown up with, Paolo Di Canio and that. And I can understand why West Ham would be not feeling Spurs. Jermaine Defoe, Carrick, Canute, Scott Parker, their captain, Kudus. I understand it. But like you say, to see West Ham in the position that they're in now, after winning the conference, the European Conference trophy, and again, Jared Bowen up, I DJ'd his wedding. I know Danny Dyer very well. They're good friends of mine. Where they're at now is a million miles away from that big night that they had together. And the thing is, they left Upton Park, which was their heart and soul. The bowling was their heart and soul. To go to this stadium, which was to improve them so they could move on and improve themselves. And that's not happened.
Yeah. The reason I say it was sad is because that's my first time commentating from there. I've full, which is fair because of where they're at. There's no player you looked on the pitch other than Jared and went, right, he's going to inspire me as a fan to go watch and try and how do we get out of this? Again, I like Graham Potter because he's from Birmingham. I don't know the fella, but I look at him and I'm like, right, it needs a bit more now. It needs an injection. These fans need a character to get behind. that's not there. As you say, the atmosphere, because it's so far away from the pitch, there's no engagement. It just looks bad. And I made this point, and 5 or 6 of the lads who pulled me afterwards when we was walking out, you know who you are, we was chatting. I made this point on my own channel the other day about West Ham. When you keep signing players from relegated clubs, you get a mentality you're used to losing. I've been relegated. I know how it feels. It's not nice. But if I'm now surrounded by 5 or 6 core players who have been relegated, they're used to being relegated, what happens is now losing a goal is like, okay, that's kind of what we do. And I'm not saying this was the target they should have got, but if you've got the likes of Victor Lindelof leaving Man United, who had a poor season, but he knows what it's like to be at a massive club, the expectation, go get him in.
Yeah.
You don't go and get the goalkeeper from Leicester, Hermanson, whatever his name is. He got dropped the weekend. You put Areola in, who weren't good enough for you last year or the year before. Now, by the way, I will bring Fabianski back, who we got rid of, by the way. So we'll bring him back again. So every time you look at what they're doing, it doesn't give you any encouragement that this is going to get better. And now, sadly, for Graham Potter, it's a huge game on Monday. If he stays in situ until Monday away at Everton, David Moyes, who you've just got rid of. Remember the good old days under David Moyes when West Ham fans were complaining? You can't make an argument how they win the next game. You just can't. So I think it's a real difficult place for them, a real difficult situation. That the ownership are not without being, fingers pointed at them. Their recruitment over the last 3 to 5 years has been terrible. And again, talking about friends, Callum Wilson, a friend of mine, good. I like him. Got a lot of time for him. It was sad watching him play. His body's just gone now. It's gone, and that he's starting leading live here.
And he relied a lot on his physicality. Kind of. He was such a physical.
He was quick. He was rapid. He could get it, but he had a couple of moments in that game where the old Callum would have run away from people, and he just can't do it anymore. And it's a shame because he is a really good lad. But what West Ham need right now is someone to get around, and I cannot believe in their youth team.
I was going to say that
there's not somebody
West Ham's
that's there.
Youth teams in their academy was always something that they'd go into.
I can't imagine that you're going into a season with Cal, who is injury prone. Again, sorry Cal, but was talking the truth, and Fulcrook injury prone. That's your two, both over 30. Who's the one to lead the line? It's just a little bit of a mess. And at this when I'm watching it, it's very much. Give it to Paquetá, hope he does something. Go wide to Bowen or Somerville, hope they do something. It's hopeful. It's playground stuff.
But they have got some great players in their ranks, and I just think maybe...
Yeah, but you can't have great players without a platform. We just spoke about... Our concern about Arsenal is the opposite with West Ham. Arsenal have a great platform, and they're just scared to give the freedom to the great players that they've got. West Ham don't have a platform, and they just go... If you're playing West Ham now, we could do Everton's team talk for them right now. Right. Stop it, go wide, and get 2 on Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
Done. Finished.
Listen, TalkSport understands Slaven Bilic is David Sullivan's preferred option to succeed Graham Potter. Karen Brady has reportedly met Nuno Espirito Santo. Graham Potter only has 6 wins in 25 Premier League games.
I need West Ham fans to explain the Slaven one to me. Because you've been there, done that. And I know the ownership like to go for who's out of a job and cheap. I understand that. But, come on, in this position, bring in Slaven Bilic in.
Right, because he finished quite high with them, didn't he? 5th or 6th.
What's he done since?
That's another question. West Ham fans, come and give us your views about West Ham and Graham Potter. Do you want him gone? If yes, replace him with who? And we want to hear from anyone who was part of the protest before the game. You were there.
There's a couple of hundred people. It wasn't everybody, but it was it was enough to start bubbling. And fair play to anyone who does a peaceful protest like they did.
03717 22 3344. If you are a West Ham fan, now is your chance to join us on the world's biggest sports station. It's Majestic and Troy Deeney here on TalkSport.
TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Hey, hey. 3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
3.
Somewhere in this hip-hop soul community was born 3 mixed up in me, and that's the magic number.
That's right, it's song number 2 here on the Final Word phone with Madge and Troy Deeney. 3 is the magic number. By which group, Troy?
Excuse me, mate.
De La Soul.
De La Soul?
Yeah.
Early 90s, though, this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big tune indeed. It was like always considered like the sort of hippier side of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And this is song number 2 for our mystery football player. The first song was Scooter, Logical Song, and this is 3 is the magic number. Clue, this player has scored 17 league hat-tricks. 17 league hat-tricks. It's a few balls to put in the old mantelpiece, isn't it? If you think you know...
And German.
The first one was, Scooter from Germany. Could be a little clue in that. If you know, or think you know, 03717223344, or text us on 81089. We'll reveal it very soon on the Final Word on TalkSport. Now, we've been talking about West Ham, so let's get some of the unhappy Hammers at the moment on to the station. Joel joins us. He's a West Ham fan. Good evening, Joel.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not so bad. What's going wrong with West Ham at the moment for you personally? Where'd you start?
There's always been a divide between the board and the supporters, but the divide now is so big. I just don't think there's any connection with the fans, the players, the board. I mean, I watched a video during the week. I don't always agree with Mr. Deeney, but it was a video of him saying how the last 4 or 5 managers, there's been no connection, and the video I couldn't have agreed with him anymore.
Thanks. Joel, just say, Troy, you're right. That's all I need to hear. It doesn't happen often in my house.
Troy, I'm a big man. You were right.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
But I think the closest we did come was when we, God forbid I say his name, because there'll be fans out there who slaughter me for this, but was Mr. David Moyes.
Yeah.
At least with him, I mean...
It was always about the style, wasn't it, Joel, with David?
I don't get this. When we had Sam Allardyce as manager, he come out and he said, what is the West Ham way? Losing games?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's bang on. And like David Moyes delivered us our first trophy in years, like in my lifetime anyway. And it's a night that I will never forget. I wasn't there, but I was up at the stadium in one of the bars surrounded by fans. It was brilliant. But I don't get like the managers being banded about. I've heard Sean Dyche, I've heard Nuno, I've heard...
Joel, sorry, mate. Can I interrupt? I was there yesterday, right? And again, I got no allegiance to West Ham. I just like them as a football club. I love playing at Upton Park, and I just like what you guys stand for. If I'm being totally honest, for me, mate, it was genuinely sad being in there.
It was sad. It was not pathetic. I mean, the best atmosphere I've been to in a while was the Chelsea game this season, and that is purely down to the fact that I sat next to the Chelsea fans.
Well, what needs to change then? Because the ownership's not going to change, right? Let's try and get somewhere. Let's try and unpack it. The ownership's not going to change. They're not going anywhere. So, the manager, in your opinion?
The problem is you can get Nuno in.
Yeah.
The man, he speaks out at every job he's been at. He speaks out against the board, so he'll be gone in 6 months because David Sullivan won't stand for that.
Yeah.
You can get
Bilic
in. Bilic is a quick fix. He might keep us up if we're lucky this season. We'll give him a 3-year contract. Within 6 months, he'll be gone because the results ain't going away.
Yeah.
I envy, and I envy a club like Brighton who is run so well.
Proper.
They looked at so they've got, I think, is it Herzler? Is that he said?
Yeah.
I guarantee you they've already got their next name for if he's gone. If he goes on to a bigger job, they would have already picked their targets, whereas West Ham, it's just who's free at the time.
Yeah, do you know what? You touched on the gaffer here, Dyche. Obviously, I've got a lot of love for the gaffer. You could do a lot worse, is what I would say.
Definitely. I think he would come in and straight away he would sort out the spine of the team, which is in desperate need at the moment. I mean, you're talking about team talk for Everton. The team talk for me would be go and get as many corners against West Ham as you can. Because
oh, mate, I didn't even touch on that. Jesus, how bad was that the weekend?
Oh, it's atrocious. I mean, that Beto, I don't watch Everton much.
Yeah.
I hear bad things about it. Beto, he will go and score 4 or 5 against us.
Yeah, I was at the game, mate. I watched Mateta. My frustration, and I said it at half time on the air, was if he actually decided to run half pace once, it'd have been in 5 times.
Yeah, and he'd have probably bagged himself a hat trick.
Yeah. So again, looking at West Ham, the problem in goal, the problem with recruitment. There's a lot of problems there. I think, is it fair or unfair to say we don't know what Graham Potter is?
No. Do you know what it is, Dan? Thank you very much, Joe, for the call. He's a wounded manager after that Chelsea job. I still don't think he's over that. I think that was his moment to step up. We're seeing it with Thomas Frank now with Spurs, yeah? I think Graham Potter was Thomas Frank before Thomas Frank. Everyone looked at Brighton, looked at what Graham Potter was doing there, and thought he could potentially do it at a bigger club. Had his moment, it didn't work out for whatever reason. And I think at the moment, he doesn't even know what his style is or anything. Yeah. Let's go to Andy. He's a West Ham fan, see how he feels. How are we, Andy?
Hello, boys. Hope you're well.
All good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Basically, what this all boils down to is we've lost our identity as a club since we've done the move. And the best solution I can think to getting a bit of that heart of the club back is getting a manager like Bilic or Carrick, because they understand the identity of the club and
Carrick's
what makes
a
us
weird
tick.
shout.
What makes the fan base tick and what they want to see. They want to see entertaining, attacking, free-flowing football, and it's full of passion and full of fight. They understand that better than anyone, and Bilic has already proven that. And the other thing about Bilic is he actually believes in the academy. I'll tell you one player that he believed in the academy the first time round, and that was one Declan Rice.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Andy. You made some good points. I do want to dive into the Carrick stuff because I think that's a really interesting shout. But everyone knew about Declan, mate. Everyone.
Who knew about him?
Everybody in football. Nobes was telling me about Declan Rice 2 years before he came through.
You're a professional footballer, so you're going to hear the grapevine.
Fair enough.
I'm on about a manager who's actually got the balls, because what we've got at the minute, when you asked earlier, which is a very good point, was about what players are coming through and who up front when you've got Wilson, who's basically on his last legs. There's a boy there sitting in our academy called Callum Marshall, right? And he's been banging goals in for fun at all the levels. He's even done it when he went to Huddersfield on loan last season. He doesn't get a sniff, not even on the bench, because Potter doesn't believe in the academy players. Young Freddie Potts, he hasn't had a look in.
He's a good boy as well.
We've got George Urphy went to Bristol City and he was their youth player of the year. We've got players we can tap into in the academy, and the last one who really done that and actually started Declan Rice and gave him his debut was Bilic. The other thing the point I want to make about Bilic is when he did a fantastic job last season to Boleyn and then went into London Stadium, it was scaffolding everywhere. You had green tarpaulin everywhere, and
I remember that.
It was him that suggested putting the claret carpet to make it so you had the dimensions of the pitch, so the players can understand where they're running to and from. That's more like a professional way that you would probably look at it. But he understood what was missing from the stadium as best as they could, and also bring the stands closer together, which they did in his recommendation. He was actually unfairly sacked. We beat Spurs in the cup. Sorry about that, Majestic.
I remember, mate. I was there.
At Wembley, and then they sack him off the back of losing to Liverpool of all teams.
I remember that.
Just on the Carrick. Sorry, Madge. I know we've got to go break. Just on Carrick. Is Carrick not a similar mould to what you've got at the moment? What I mean by that is wants to play progressive football. Did it at Middlesbrough. Had a massive budget at Middlesbrough. Fell short. Didn't get into the playoffs.
Well, what the observations I have, quick observations I have of Carrick, when he had the audition at Man United, he had 3 games and he beat Emery, he beat Arteta,
Yep.
You look it up.
I'm with you.
Villarreal in the cup, and then when he went to Borough, they were in the bottom 3, I think, of the Championship, and he got them in the playoffs. Didn't quite get to the playoff final, but that was in his debut season.
And still a very young manager.
He's another one who believed in the academy boys at Borough, and he got the best out of a.
Do you West Ham boys give him the time? If it's going a bit
I
ropey.
would. I didn't want Bilic sacked the first time. It was so unfair because in the first season he got us to 7th, and then the was in the cup against Man United.
Yeah.
The second season was the disaster move to the London Stadium. He got us
still
to
finished 11th. Yeah.
He got us to 11th, mid-table, and in the following season, after a few games, we didn't have a great start. And he tried to get in players. The best players he could get in was Zaha and Caleri. This is the board who said we're going to go next level. Next level? You joking me? He had to deal with.
I'm feeling the shout for Bilic there. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much, Andy. Now, because it's a Sunday, it means one thing and one thing only.
On your WhatsApp is a very special place you can speak to my child. WhatsApp, baby.
Send us your WhatsApp, baby.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
Final word.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp number is 037-172-2344.
That's right, it's time for you to send us your WhatsApp voice messages. And this week, Troy, who would you like to hear from on the WhatsApp?
I mean, for Villa fans.
Villa fans,
very quiet this week.
Yeah, Villa fans. Troy Deeney wants to hear from you.
Be nice. Be nice.
Be as nice as you can. I would also like to hear from Premier League fans in general as to whether or not Arsenal can win the league over Liverpool this season. Send us your voice messages 03717 22344, and we'll hear from you soon on the final word here on TalkSport.
for Ipswich. He talked to his callers kind of cool and shrewd, and if they gave him lip, he called them a tube to Brazil.
You're a tube. Brazil.
Alan Brazil.
Big bad Alan Brazil, appearing in an abandoned mine shaft on the Superstar Breakfast, Wednesday morning from 6 on TalkSport.
The bicycle gig backlash.
The final word phone in.
This is a self-preservation society. This is a self-preservation
society.
Go watch your German banjo parade.
It is the final word phone in here on TalkSport with me, Majestic, alongside former Watford striker Troy Deeney. This is your third and final clue of our mystery footballer song quiz. This is Get a Blooming Move On, the Self-Preservation Society. And of course, in that film is the one and only Michael Caine. That's our third and final clue. So the first clue is Scooter, the Logical Song. They're a German band. 3 is the magic number. This player's had 17 career hat-tricks, league hat-tricks. And the third and final clue from the Self-Preservation Society that features a one and only Mr. Michael Caine. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
There it is. I like the more older Michael Caine who talks to Batman. One day, me and you, Mr. Wayne. Right, if you think you know the answer, text us 81089. Chris has said, did I miss the Spurs chat? Don't worry, still to come. Now let's look at the best of Saturday's Premier League action, starting with a Merseyside derby, which ended with Liverpool winning 2-1, but Everton boss was less than happy with referring the referee. Is this... okay, it says we've got it, but I was gonna do the David Moyes impression, but we'll move on from there. Let's go to the fact that the gaffer wasn't happy. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Only 3 minutes of injury time and a booking for Dewsbury Hall for taking a quick free kick. What was going on there, Troy?
I ain't got a clue anymore. I took David Moyes' point though. If it'd be really interesting if it'd be 3 minutes the other way. If it was 2-1 Everton at Anfield, we'd have been looking at 6-7 minutes. I don't understand how they do it personally. They've been at 4 or 5 games this year, and I'm like, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 minutes, and it's like 2 and 3. So that doesn't really. I don't really get it. I don't really know how they. Yeah, well, referees are always inconsistent. But I actually thought it was a good game. I thought Everton showed them too much respect in the first half. Gravenberch is some player, but some player. Arguably the best holding midfielder in the country at this moment in time. Hit up there with Caicedo and Rodri, in my opinion. Again, Everton a little bit disappointing. They took Beto off, put Barry on. Clearly see that David Moyes read them the riot act and had a go in the second half and made it for a much better game. Liverpool, again, not at their ultimate best, but getting the job done. Liverpool are an interesting watch over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Who starts through the middle? How does that front three work? Does Wirtz get in? Do they have to drop him in certain games? But they're exciting, and they win, and they score goals.
You can hear my David Moyes impression now.
Well, all the media outlets are saying the same. They're all asking the same thing. They're all saying 3 minutes seem very strange. They only put 3 minutes on. We've played teams recently who've taken free kicks quickly and caught us out by their quick play. So we're always warning the players about it. We wanted to take things quickly, but today it had to go on the referee's whistle. And if that was the case, then that would have added even more time on, I would have thought. So, but hey, we've been here so many times, and I've said many times, I've probably moaned about referees, but I think it is that there is something in it. There's a factor in it that it's very difficult to get the decisions. 3 minutes. I think if it was the other way around, if it was 2-1 to Everton at the time, I don't know if it'd have been a 3 minute added on, but who knows?
That's not a bad impression, eh? That was the David Moyes, the Everton boss, speaking. The Sam Matterface. Do you think there needs to be more transparency, Troy, about how injury time's calculated, so we know a bit of consistency?
Yeah, I just think with the way the game is now, the amount of fouls that are given, the changes in the second half, it's more or less impossible to give it 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? Like, even with the VAR
minimum
checks
4s
and all
and
of that.
5s.
Yeah, so I just think it's a little bit of a dodgy one for me. Again, just looking at it now, there's a lot of yellow cards as well. I just think when it's 3 minutes in a game like that, I think you do have to question, what did you come out with? But ultimately, Liverpool won. They're moving on to the next. Everton have had a decent start under David Moyes and will be buzzing to play against West Ham in the next game.
You've been waiting to talk all evening about these guys. Chelsea, Man United, Chelsea won. Not many people saw that result coming. Sending-offs galore in the pouring rain at Old Trafford. Do we, after seeing that performance, or is it the fact that, there's an early sending off, etc., do we take Chelsea out of the title race now, or are they still in there? Do you think they've got...
I think again, I've said this before on the podcast that I do. You look at Chelsea's squad, and I think Chelsea and Arsenal, man for man, player for player, have the best squads. If you asked any manager to pick
better than Liverpool's?
Yeah, because you're talking about all of the players and the benches.
And some, yeah.
I think Liverpool have got arguably one of the best goalkeepers, definitely the best centre half, arguably one of the best midfielders. But when you start looking at the bench and looking beyond that, it does get a little bit worrying, is what I would say. If they get 2 or 3 injuries, I don't know how they would deal with it. You look at Chelsea, they've got players everywhere.
Too many almost.
Yeah, players everywhere. You look at Arsenal, they've got players everywhere. My frustration with Chelsea is I don't believe you can win with that goalkeeper. I don't believe you can.
Well, me and Pards had this the other week, and you look at the idea of the teams that win the league.
Yes.
Even to Leicester when they won the league.
Yeah.
Michael, top keeper, right?
Yep.
I don't think there's ever been a Premier League team that's won the league with an iffy goalkeeper, because they're the moments that cost you.
And that's what I said earlier.
And I think, just to bring this to Spurs quickly, I think Vicario is someone like that. I think if Spurs are going to move forward, then that's an issue. You need to look at that.
The key areas on the pitch that will always decide your games is the strikers or your goal scorers and your goalkeeper. They'll always do it. And I think when you look, again, he had a decent... No, let's be fair. He had a very good Club World Cup, didn't he, Sanchez?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, that's it. And I said this very early on. I think what he's going to do is lull Chelsea into a false sense of security where they can go, that's the guy we've signed. But what we've seen consistently throughout his career at Brighton and at other clubs is he will make mistakes. And again, I watched the Sky coverage on the way back from the West Ham game, and Jamie Redknapp nailed it perfectly. That step back kills him because he's got a really positive position. You have to go forward at that point. He will make 3 to 4 mistakes that will cost Chelsea games this season, just on his own. I still think with Trevor Chalobah, again, good kid, and I think he's solid. I think Colwell, again, solid. They need a solid centre-half next to him. They don't have that. And as long as that happens, I just don't see them getting over the line.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a really good team, a team you'd love to watch. They play the ball really well. But again, go back to Brentford, make changes. The manager rotating his squad to get it all done. Get the job done. Just get the job done. And then once you've got the job done, then rest players, take them off after 60 minutes, 65 minutes. Come on and have a sit down. But for me, Chelsea were never in the conversation. It's just a case of now, how do we judge them? What are we
what is success for Chelsea in this era now?
Yeah,
post Abramovich.
Exactly that. What is it? You've got great young players, great young talent, but are you going to be judged on winning things? The manager always says he doesn't think you're going to win anything. He always talks it down. But you've got great recruitment, really good players. How do you get over the line? And dropping points at Man United at this moment was a bit of a coupon buster for most people. But it was all down to that. And then also Cole Palmer now getting a few more injuries regularly. Are you forcing him back? I don't know. It just doesn't feel right for Chelsea to get over the hump.
And a message here said, you know how sad you sound, lads, when you compare Premier League winners and then you say even Leicester. That's so patronising, by the way. Would you say the same as Spurs had won in 2016? I very much doubt it. The thing is, let's have it right. If you look at Premier League history, when you throw the name Leicester in, it's not Arsenal.
Same as thrown in Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even Blackburn Rovers had Tim Flowers when they won the league.
But again, when you talk about disrespectful, it's never disrespectful because they've won the league.
Yeah.
It can't be disrespectful. What we're saying is if you look over the longevity of time, most players, most teams that win are solid goalkeeper, one that's very reliable.
Correct.
You never see a team win in spite of their goalie.
Yeah, and mine was actually a very doff of the cap to Kasper Schmeichel to say how good he was.
Kasper was very good. Still is doing very well. But Leicester had a team that worked for their system. Also, Jamie Vardy had the best year of his career.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to the same as our point.
At the back, at the front.
There you go. And in the middle, they had Kante and they had Drinkwater and they had Riyad Mahrez, and they were excellent.
And then bringing it back to our first conversation on the show today, which is Arsenal. Ray, I think, is one of the best keepers in the league.
Yeah.
Arsenal probably have the best defence in the league.
Yes.
The midfielders in the holding points of their midfield, that's
right
probably
up there.
Right up there, top two, if not the best.
Yep.
Then you look at their front sort of three, what they can utilise and what they do utilise. That's the difference, in my opinion.
Exactly that. So it's never disrespectful. It's always a place of respect. But you're just going back to Chelsea. It's again just a few things that I've said in the summer. That obviously when they won the Club World Cup, it was great, and Troy didn't know what he's talking about. But over the course of the season, it started to play out. Nicholas Jackson was always going to be an issue because he was starting last year. You bring in 2 strikers, and everyone knew you were trying to get rid of him. Now he's gone. You get one player that's injured in Delap, which is unfortunate. Now you're left with Zhao. And he hasn't had a pre-season. He hasn't had time to rest. So now you have to manage that. So now you're going into games with, again, young lad in Tariq George, who's very, very good, but he's not seasoned.
Yeah.
He hasn't done the hard yards yet. So you're going into games now where you're relying on 1 or 2 players, but you've spent well over £1 billion.
Man. Still to come before we hand the baton over to Danny Kelly on Trans-Euro Express. We will reveal who our mystery footballer is. And we've saved the best to last as we talk about the mighty Spurs on the final word phone in here on TalkSport.
TalkSport 2.
Yeah, sounds as a scooter here on the TalkSport. TransEuro Express is up next with Danny Kelly. Second song, Free is the Magic Number by De La Soul.
It's the magic number.
First song, Scooter, Electrical Song. And this one, Get a Bloomin' Move On, from the Self-Preservation Society from the Italian Job. Right. Do you know the answer, Troy? Do you think it can be?
I went for Harry Kane.
You went for Harry Kane, and you'd be right. Harry Kane, he scored yet another hat-trick yesterday for Bayern against Hoffenheim. And the first person to get the answer right was the good friend of the show, Laura, the Liverpool fan, who's loving Troy on the show today.
Oh, thank you very much, Laura.
And Laura loves parts, so she...
That's all right, then. I can come back.
A big yeah. You're welcome anytime. Harry Kane... God, right now, is he the best striker in the world?
Harry?
He's got to be up.
He's always up there.
Yeah.
He's in top 5.
He is just banging them in.
Bags goals for fun now, doesn't he?
He's the bagsman. Right, now we asked for your WhatsApps, and always you didn't disappoint. You never disappoint. Up first is Michael, the Liverpool fan, who I'm sure is having a great time at the moment.
Yes, boys, it's Michael here from Liverpool fan. What a lovely weekend. We won the derby. We've had a lovely afternoon watching Arsenal and Man City fight it out between the pair of them to go 5 points behind the champions. 5 games gone, 5 points clear. What a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the evening, boys.
Michael's enjoying his evening. Right, next up is Luke, the Man City fan, who wants to have his say on this afternoon's game.
Ireland looked good first half, scored a goal, but we never really looked like scoring after that. You know, let Arsenal get back into it. Arteta's going to be loving that. He's still living in our shadow, though. They've never come any better than second. We've done first on the bounce 3 times. You know, we're just the bigger club, and he can't get that in his head.
Luke's settling the score tonight. And finally, we are making our way all the way to Nigeria tonight, as Gibson has sent us this.
Good evening. I'm Gibson Lee, calling from Nigeria. So here's the thing. Arsenal do not have the mentality to challenge for the league. And I'll tell you why. You're playing at home to one of your title rivals, and you start up with 3 holding players. What are you holding? It doesn't make any sense.
What are you holding?
I love
Don't
it.
mind it.
Did we want the wisdom? We wanted the wisdom, and Gibson gave us the wisdom. Love that. Right, the final word right now. Talking about Spurs against Brighton yesterday at the Amex. Spurs went 2-0 down very quickly, but they pulled it back. 5 games in now in the Premier League, Champions League game as well. We've seen all sorts of games from Thomas Frank's Tottenham so far. What's your assessment of Thomas Frank's new Spurs team?
I love Thomas Frank. I love the coaching staff he's brought in with him. I love everything that they stand for. I think the big thing that he's now got to worry about is this squad isn't good enough to rotate. The mentality of the players coming in, like Udagi, the left back for me is miles off it. He's miles off it from when I've Jed Spence in. You can't afford to take 3 lads out now because they'll end up like the first off. It'll be so night and day in terms of performance. I think a few of them, the likes of Tal, Udagi at left back, even the goalkeeper, as you alluded to, will make him think, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to work these boys to the bone just to get to January."
We really need Solanke and Kulusevski back.
Yeah, I'm not sure on how Dom would fit in long term. I think he's not physical enough for what Thomas Frank would want, but I think Dom has got all the abilities to. Kulusevski, again, I think he's great because he can play anywhere across the front and at the 10 if you need to. So if you took out Simons, for example, you put him in, you know you're getting at least a 7, 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think now when you take these players out, it goes from 8 and 9s to like 4s and 5s, and that's too big a drop.
Well, the one good thing is, I suppose, is Thomas Frank is giving these guys opportunities to show themselves.
Yes, but as you know, once you can only give people so many opportunities. Yeah. And again, all he's talking about now is the fact that they never gave up, they kept going, the commitment to the end. But the one thing I love is that he understands, Thomas, that the 2 centre-halves are the key for you guys. As long as they're fit and available, you'll always be in games.
And now you can see why we finished 17th last year when we had pretty much the whole back 5 out.
Yeah, of course. And I think
that was never taken into account with Ange, which I do feel for him a little.
No, but I think he lost his credibility, though, when he brought both of them back in after not training.
Yeah.
And they both got re-injured. So I think you lose your credibility there. I think for Spurs, it's a really exciting one. I've said this, mate, on my stuff before. If Simons and Koulibaly and Kudus are what we all think they can be, it's an A-plus transfer window.
Yeah.
Even with Paulinho as well, I think he's solid. I think he's the one who keeps hold of the place.
Agreed.
But if it goes the other way, then it's a C- because you're going off potential.
Do you know what? I do have to pull you on the Udogie one quickly, though,
Right.
because Udogie was actually one of the better players yesterday.
No, mate.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
What did you see?
He goes forward well, but you got to defend. You have to defend.
Yeah.
And his commitment to running back kills you. And he relies on the fact that Mickey van der Ven is
so
rapid.
fast.
But the point, what I'm getting at is, if I said to you, you're going to lose one of them two for the next 6 weeks injured,
Oh, yeah.
and the reason Van der Ven has to cover so much and sprint so much is because he doesn't do the defending work. So you can pull me up on it all you want, but I'm saying, like, going forward.
But do you think perhaps Udogie now needs a bit of time to transition to Thomas Frank's way of playing, and perhaps under the Ange regime, he was used to that Van der Ven on the high line?
You're a footballer. You know how long you get to adjust to a manager? 2 weeks.
That's it.
2 weeks. You've had pre-season. Get over it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Troy, listen, it's been wonderful having you tonight. Thank you very much.
Right.
And I think the Arsenal fans were very nice with you tonight.
Yeah, because I know I'm right.
That's all from us today. But the TalkSport Breakfast show's back tomorrow from 6 a.m. with Super Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling being joined by Arsenal legend David Seaman. See, another good keeper that could win the league. There you go. But if you need some music in your life, go to the TalkSport app and swipe across to friend of the show, Chris Evans, on Virgin Radio. The final word returns next Sunday from 6:30. But coming up next here on TalkSport is time for all the latest from across the continent on Trans Europe Express from me and Troy. Good night.
Peace.